friends, and welcome to the first edition of Alex's Three Things on this beautiful Friday. To start us off, we're going to talk about the Jalen Ramsey trade to the Rams. Following up, we're going to talk about the knee injury epidemic that has struck our young stars Patrick Mahomes and Zion Williamson. But first, we have some other news. Bradley Beal signed a 2-year, $72 million max contract extension, making him and John Wall the third highest paid duo come the 2021 and 2022 season, behind only James Harden and Russ and Steph and Clay. On the college football side, we have a few notable matchups this week, including number 12 Oregon traveling to number 25 Washington, number 17 Arizona State traveling to number 13 Utah, number 16 Michigan playing at number 7 Penn State, number 9 Florida at South Carolina, who just came off that big time Georgia win, and then last, West Virginia at number 5 Oklahoma. As for the NFL, we have Jalen's debut with the Rams against the 1-5 Falcons, Ravens at Seahawks, Saints at Bears, and then the game of the week, Eagles at Cowboys, Sunday Night Football. Now that you're caught up on the ancillary news, here are my 3 things for this week. Jalen Ramsey is expected to play this weekend, as the Rams head coach Sean McVay stated after practice today. We're anticipating him playing. Now, with Marcus Peters shipped off to Baltimore and Aqib Talib inactive, this is a good opportunity for the Rams and Jalen to make a statement against a strong passing offense in Atlanta this Sunday. In the trade with Jacksonville, the Rams traded away 2 first-round picks and a 4th round over the next couple of years, which gives people the notion that they are gunning for the Super Bowl victory that eluded them last year. With the defensive duo of Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey, I believe the Rams are in a good spot to contend, but the offensive side of the ball continues to struggle both on the ground and through the air. Todd Gurley has not looked like the Todd Gurley of last season, with no games over 100 yards at this point, whereas at this point last season, every game was over 100 yards except for one. As for the Rams' passing game, I'm not completely sold on Goff this season, at least at a Super Bowl level. He is arguably the best receiving corps in the league, and yet the offense seems to struggle. Goff has 7 touchdowns on the season, accompanied by 7 interceptions and roughly 1,700 yards. Not terrible numbers, however the kicker for me is the QBR, 37.1, which is 27th in the league, currently ahead of only Josh Allen, Marcus Mariota, who's being benched for Ryan Tannehill, and Josh Rosen, who was named the starter only to have it taken away by Ryan Fitzpatrick. Time will tell if Goff can correct the ship, but if he continues to struggle, it could be detrimental to the Rams' Super Bowl aspiration. As for Todd Gurley, I'm sure the 3-time Pro Bowler will get rolling once the injury bug leaves his system. Speaking of injury bugs, we got hit with 2 major sports stories these past 24 hours. Zion Williamson and Patrick Mahomes both suffered a knee injury. Luckily, neither are really that serious, and we should see the young studs back in action pretty soon here. Let's start with the Duke phenom and young NBA star Zion Williamson. According to ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski, Zion Williamson will miss the start of the NBA's regular season as he recovers from right knee soreness. Now, the 6'6", 284-pound 19-year-old is the second heaviest player in the NBA behind Boban Marjanovic, the 7'3" Mavericks center. This is important to realize because Zion requires a lot of force to be put on his knees to create the sort of plays we have become accustomed to seeing by him. If this injury continues to bother him, or if he's back on the court too early, then it could prove problematic. Now, he is already ruled out for the start of the NBA season, and the Pelicans released a medical update yesterday stating he'll be out for the team's final preseason game against the Knicks. On a side note, we'll have to wait to see the Duke matchup of Zion and RJ until they meet up in the regular season. It's sad to hear that someone so electric is already struggling with an injury, but this is not his first, and I don't believe it'll be his last. Someone who plays with so much power and is such a giant human being could run into issues if this isn't handled correctly. Now, I believe David Griffin and the entire Pelicans organization understand that this is the foundational player, and the entire organization from now on will be built around him. I'm just afraid that he pushes himself too much too soon and further injures that knee or another part of his body. Everyone wants to watch this stud on the court, and I hope he recovers quick, but more importantly, I hope he heals fully. For my third and final thing, we switch it over to the NFL and the Kansas City Chiefs as they went into town against the Denver Broncos on Thursday Night Football and dominated 30-6. Unfortunately, the storyline from the game was Patrick Mahomes leaving in the first half, and he didn't return. As the sports world and fantasy owners held their breath, hoping for the best, the Chiefs reported this morning that they received a best-case scenario for the young quarterback after an MRI showed no damage other than a dislocated right kneecap. There have been numerous dates and times thrown around as to when the Chiefs expect him back, but I'd say roughly 4 to 6 weeks before we expect him back, which places the Chiefs right around their bye week in Week 12. Meanwhile, the interim quarterback is Matt Moore, who's going to have a challenge ahead of him with the Packers and Vikings coming to Arrowhead Stadium. Luckily, they're at home for these games. But that's the only lucky thing for the Kansas City Chiefs, as they rank 25th in defense and 24th in rushing according to NFL.com. As for the Packers, they're first in the NFC North at 5-1 and are fourth in points allowed in the NFC. Following up, the Vikings come to town and they're right behind the Packers in the NFC standing, but third in NFC for points allowed. These are two tough tests for the Kansas City offense without their key weapon, Patrick Mahomes. What is in the Chiefs' favor is their current standing in the AFC West, 2 games ahead of the Oakland Raiders, which I believe they can hold if their defense comes online and the other offensive weapons make an impact like they did last year. The Chiefs are going to be an interesting team to watch as they try and hold on to their first place standing in the AFC West. Well, that's all I have for you guys. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and give us a thumbs up. Until next time.